Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnan Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Om Bhadram Karne Vishnuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashe Makshaviryajatraha स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु Om Shanti 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 Hare Om. Om. O gods, may we always hear with our ears what is auspicious. O worshipful ones, may we with our eyes always see what is auspicious. May we live our allotted life hale and hearty, offering our worship unto Thee. May Indra of ancient fame bestow auspiciousness on all of us. May the all-nourishing portion be propitious to all of us. May Garuda, the destroyer of all evil, be well disposed towards all of us. May Brihaspati ensure all our welfare. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto all. We have been studying Paramahamsa Upanishad, and it is very appropriate because Sri Ramakrishna is called Paramahamsa. Now we have to extend this title. What about Holy Mother? Can we say she is also a Paramahamsa? Absolutely. Anybody who realizes God is a Paramahamsa. Swamiji, more than a Paramahamsa. Direct disciples, all Paramahamsas. Paramahamsa's children cannot be no other than Paramahamsas only. So, what is our goal? Each one of us. Actually, when we are all in deep sleep, then what are we? We are all Paramahamsas. What does it mean? We all experience. There is no relationship with the body. We are not the body. Each one of us experiences, I am not the body, I am not the mind. Of course, only when there is body-mind, we have to say consciously, I am not the body-mind. But naturally, automatically, we feel I am Atman with, of course, Karana Sharira. 2/3 of the problem completely evacuated, destroyed. 3 problems. I am the body, Sthula Sharira, gross body, I am the subtle body, and I am the causal body. Both the bodies, gross and subtle, are eliminated, but there is still that Karana Sharira, causal body. That's our problem. But even that gives so much of happiness to all of us. That is very important thing for us to understand. So, what is our goal? Our goal is to be Paramahamsas. What is the problem with the deep sleep state? We are Paramahamsas, not only in the deep sleep state, but in waking state, in dream state, etc. How come? As soon as we say I, that is called Paramahamsa state. But the moment we say I am the body, I am the mind, then we become ordinary geese. That's all. But in deep sleep state, both of these problems are eliminated. As we say, technically, only the Avarana Shakti is there. Vikshepa Shakti doesn't function in deep sleep state. How do we know? Because indescribable, unimaginable bliss we experience in that deep sleep state. So do we not want? Is there anybody who doesn't want unbroken bliss? And automatically when anybody says, I want to be happy, a dead body will not be a happy body. The person must be alive. That is called Sat. And even if a person is alive, but unconscious or sleeping, he cannot say, I am a happy person. Of course, he cannot say, I am an unhappy person also. So there must be awareness. I am not only, I have to be happy, I have to be aware that I am a happy person. So I have to be alive, and I have to be happy, and I have to be fully aware that I am a happy person. That is why we can never separate Sat, Chit and Ananda. We can never separate. Impossible to separate. Wherever there is Sat, there will be Chit and Ananda, whether it is manifest or not manifest. That is why this Upanishad, containing only, as I said, only 4 mantras, but every mantra is not like a sutra, but it is quite a big paragraph. And we have discussed a brief introduction, and this belongs to Shukla Yajurveda, and we also have discussed what is the Shanti Mantra, Bhadram Karnebihi, and we also have to remind ourselves. There was this one of the greatest spiritual beings called Narada. He approached his own father, Brahma, who is Saguna Brahma. And he asked, for whose sake? For our sake. What did he ask? Having approached Vidhivat formally. What is formally? I am prepared to accept whatever you say. That is the highest truth. Even though it flies against my every second's experience. Every second we are experiencing I and the world. But the scripture is telling, I have nothing to do with body mind. I am not the body, I am not the mind. And then who are you? Call Atma, Paramatma, Brahman, Ishvara, by whatever blessed name, God. I am God. But that God has to be understood not only in the Sakara, Saguna, but Nirguna and Nirakara. And Advaita Vedanta makes a terrible analysis. I call it terrible because there some extremists go to the extent of saying the Saguna Brahma Ishvara, if anybody realizes I am Ishvara, that is not Mukti. Of course, ignorance can go no further than this, because Saguna is Nirguna, Nirguna is Saguna, as if this Ishvara is overcome by Maya, as if these people understood it. No. Ishvara, Saguna Brahma, Vishnu, or Shiva, or Devi, or what Christians call God, whom Muslims call Allah, they are nothing but one and the same. A Buddha called that formless, nameless, qualityless reality as nirvana or shunya later on. But we have to assume we are talking, we are thinking. So long as we are thinking, we are talking, we are expressing, we cannot talk about the highest aspect, but there is absolutely no difference. And this is reinforced by Swamiji in a hymn which we are singing every day, at least at the Vespers time. Niranjana Nararupadhara Nirguna Gunamaya. So these so-called contradictory ideas, he is with form, without form, and he is also beyond form and formlessness, as Ram Krishna puts it. So we cannot really make any such distinction. Ishvara is Sakara, Saguna, is also Nirakara, Nirguna. With this idea, that is called Paramahamsa. Hamsa, Soham, I am that. Every Jiva is called Hamsa. Paramatma is called Paramahamsa. And for us to remove the distinction between Jivatma and Paramatma, that is the goal. And with that purpose, on our behalf, Narada approached none else other than the Saguna Brahma. And he asks, Ata Yoginam, there are so many yogis. Beginner yogis are there. Advanced yogis are there. Those Vividisha sannyasins are there. Vidvat sannyasins are there. Hamsa sannyasins are there. Paramahamsa sannyasins are there. But Paramahamsa sannyasins are realized souls. That is, then only they get this epithet, Paramahamsa. Ko ayam margaha. That means it implies many things. So tell me, Bhagavan, what is this Paramahamsa state? Do we have to try for that? Is it something new? Or we are already Paramahamsas, but we do not know that. We are ignorant about it. And so this Maya, and Narada should know better than anybody, as the Puranas tell us, Vishnu Maya was revealed to him. And then Narada realized, never again do you drown me in this Vishnu Maya. Give me unmotivated, pure love for thy lotus feet. Sri Ramakrishna emphasizes it again and again. So, what is the way to know? I am that Paramahamsa. You please describe it. Just like Arjuna asks, Kas sthitihi iti. What are the characteristics? How do they live? How do they breathe? How do they walk? Etc. Why is Narada asking? Because even when Arjuna is asking, sthita prajna, samadhi, when a person is in samadhi, then the question of living, behaving, acting, reacting, the question itself will not arise. Only when the person is absolutely conscious and he has a body and mind, he never thinks I am the body-mind, but there is a body-mind. And that is what he says, there is a body-mind. I have nothing to do with it. I am not the body-mind. Before enlightenment, yes, I was thinking. Now I don't say I had a body-mind. I do not say that. There is no relationship between body and mind and myself. I was Brahman. I am Brahman. I will be Brahman. So, only a Jivan Mukta. We are talking about Jivan Mukta, a Paramahamsa who is alive, who knows he is Brahman, who knows everything else is Brahman. How does he react? As I mentioned earlier, just to remind you, he is like a psychiatrist. A psychiatrist looks at the patient in two ways. He knows that this patient is not Napoleon, for example, he is XYZ. But at the same time he knows, I know he is XYZ, I know he is not Napoleon or Alexander the Great or Julius Caesar or Hitler, but the patient had forgotten who he was. And that did not change him at all. It's only his thinking, he's trying is a level best. But you see, a person cannot behave like a Napoleon, even if he goes mad, because the voice, the appetite, the intelligence, their quick reaction, that belong to original Napoleon. This fellow can now retribute. So, the psychiatrist knows that some temporary brain aberration had taken place. So, I must help him to understand that I am not Napoleon. Exactly, a Paramahamsa Guru also will tell us, you are not body-mind complex, you are Brahman, there is no distinction between you and me. Sri Ramakrishna makes it very funny. So Shukadeva approached Janaka Maharaja for instruction about Brahman. And Janaka Maharaja said, first give me the fees. Shuka said, how come? You have not even given initial instruction. Even if I go to a lawyer, so initial advice will be there, whether I can win or not. You have not even told anything. Then Janaka explained, once I give you only one secret is there. There is no introduction, there is no subsequent. The moment I say, you are, thou art that, Tattvamasi, then you will understand I am Brahman. You don't see any difference between Guru and Sishya. The question of your giving fees to me doesn't arise at all. So I am demanding first to give the fee. Sri Ramakrishna's funny way of putting it, that a true Guru, he doesn't want your money or anything. He wants that you become Brahman, and that way he becomes free from the responsibility of that stupid fellow who was a stupid fellow. So, atha yoginam paramahamsanam, yogis are there, but we are not, I am not asking about yogis, any yogi, paramahamsanam, oyam margaha. So, I know that is the goal, to become Paramahamsa or Paramatma or Brahman. What is the way to come to that realization? Tesham kasthitihi. What does it mean? How do they breathe? How do they sit? How do they walk? How do they talk? How do they react in heat and cold, in honor and dishonor, in loss and gain, in happiness and unhappiness? I want you to give a detailed characteristics of that person. So, Naradaha, Bhagavantam is Bhagavanta, is called Bhagavanta. Why Bhagavan? Bhagavan means Brahman himself. Upagatya, Vidhivat Upagatya, Samit Panihi Upagatya. So, what is called scripturally indicated way. That is to say, whatever you say, I have complete faith. Guru Shastra Vakyeshu Satya Buddhi Avadharana. And naturally, when such a disciple presents himself, the teaching will be immediate. Tam Bhagavan Aha. Then Brahma instructed him. But before instructing, what does he say? Yo ayam Paramahamsa Margaha Loke Durlabhatara. The path of the Paramahamsas that you ask of is accessible with the greatest difficulty by people. What does access mean here? Accessible means it is extremely difficult because one has to give up everything. One has to give up complete attachment to both body and mind. That means to the entire world. Even if there is one needle amount of attachment, the person will not be able to, he is as good as completely bound. That is why Brahma continues. Nato bahulyo putasthaha. Putasthaha, that means such a pure soul, such a person who attained to this state of the Paramahamsa. Nato bahulya. Bahulya means plenty. No. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvatah. But yad eko bhavati. even if you come across one, even if there be one, sayeva nityaha, and it is enough if there be one such, verily such a one, where does he rest? That means resting means what? Where do we rest? It's very interesting. We all go to take rest. So what do? We lie down on the cot. So usually people say this person is resting in an undisturbed room on a convenient cot. No. A cot is only an instrument for rest. A person who is very capable of sleeping undisturbed, even if the circumstances are disturbing, he is not disturbed. He can enter into that state where he can be not bothered, need not be bothered by body and mind, with the idea I am not the body mind. That is called real rest. Waking state is a active place. It is a restless place. That is a beautiful word, restless place. And dream state, even more restless. But a deep sleep state is complete restful place. But that is what we all do. But Paramahamsas, 24 hours a day, whatever happens to the body and mind, they rest only in the ever pure Brahman. Sayeva nityastaha esha brahmi sthiti partha nainam prapya vimuhyati. So this is called Brahmi sthiti. Once it is attained, a person will never forget. There was a prince who was kidnapped or lost. He was being brought up by beggars, and somehow he was found out, and he was given proof that really your parents, the beggar parents, have no resemblance to you. Look at your mother and father, the king and the queen, you are the prince. Once the prince has that knowledge, I am a prince, the question of going back, I am a beggar, doesn't arise. Once we come to know this is a rope, not a snake. Not only our knowledge of snake disappears. When the knowledge of snake disappears, snake also disappears. With the disappearance of the snake, all the consequences, fear, shaking, and almost heart attack, everything will automatically, it will go away. This is called abiding in that ever pure Brahman. Sa eva veda purushaha iti vidushaha manyante. Only a person who had attained to this state of Paramahamsa, he alone is called Veda Purusha. What is this Veda Purusha? Saha, such a person is called Paramahamsa. Such a Paramahamsa. Who is a Paramahamsa? A person who realized, I was thinking about the body mind, but by the grace of God, now I know I am Paramatma, I am Brahman. Such a person, Eva, he alone has not anybody else, is entitled to be called Veda Purushaha. So who is telling this? He was not telling it. We are not telling it. Iti vidushaha manyante. Those who have attained to that state, they are called vidushaha. That is, most intelligent persons, intelligence personified persons, they consider that this such a person is called Veda Purushaha. Once, when Sri Ramakrishna was at Dakshineswar, a sannyasi had come, a sadhu had come. He was looking like a horrible ghoul, like a pishacha, or like a unmada. And he happened to see Sri Ramakrishna. This is beautifully depicted in the cinema, Sri Ramakrishna's cinema. And then he comes, looks at Sri Ramakrishna's face, goes on laughing unstoppingly, because he recognized Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna also recognized him. Then Sri Ramakrishna became worried. So immediately he started praying, Ma, am I going to be like this? Then mother must have, we don't know what the mother said, but mother must have reassured him, no, I wanted him to be that way, but I want you to be in a different way. Sri Ramakrishna had a wonderful desire, most marvelous desire, and it is the most selfish desire. I want to be the emperor of devotees. I want to be the emperor of sannyasins. I want to be the emperor of knowledgeable people. I want to be an emperor. Everybody must adore me. So this person, any person who realizes God in simple words, is called Veda Purusha. What is the meaning of Purusha means here? Normally in our, a male person is called Purusha. No, but according to Gita and Upanishads, Purisete iti Purusha. One who is an Antaryami, all pervading, like Vishnu, Vyapakatvat, and who alone exists, who is called Ishvara. Such a person is called Purusha. And he is called Veda Purusha, means a Purusha who knows that he is a Purusha. Veda means knowledge. That indescribable knowledge that I am Brahman. Because only a person who realizes I am Brahman can know what the other person is talking about. The moment we say I am a Purusha, we also know that we are also Purushas. But what we mean, what that person means, heaven and hell difference is there. And this is beautifully brought out in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. What do they say? Purushottama Yoga. What is Purushottama? Reverse those two words, Purusha and Uttama. Uttama Purusha. Yasmaksharam atitoham aksharadapi chottamaha atah Purushottama iti Uttama Purusha iti manyante. So that he who is beyond both form and formlessness, both subject and object, such a person is called Uttama Purusha. That means Brahman. So he is called Veda Purusha. Iti, who says? And Tom, Dick, Harry, if they say about anybody else, they will not understand. Once Keshav Chandra Sen praised Sri Ramakrishna. Oh, you are one of the greatest persons. And immediately Sri Ramakrishna said, you know, people like you giving me certificate, I don't believe, I don't trust you. Only if my mother comes and says, you are the greatest, I will believe in it. Because these people, without understanding anything, like our saying, you go and tell to Einstein, you are the greatest physicist in the whole world. And if he has got a bit of brain in his head, he will not believe you. Because unless you are equivalent to him, then you cannot really appreciate him. If you have got only 1% of knowledge of physics, your appreciation of Einstein will be only 1%. Your title means nothing. Very interesting. Vishwamitra wanted to fight with Vasishtha. And Vasishtha, he never fought. He simply put his, what we call Brahma Danda in front of him. And all the Astra Shastras that Vishwamitra was discharging towards Vasishtha, they came to the Brahma Danda and like straw, they fell down. And Vishwamitra realized that Dhik Kshatriyam Balam, Brahmanaha Balam, Brahmana Balam Balam, the strength, the valor of only a Brahmana like Vasishtha is the one. So in competition, I want to become equal to him. So many stories are there. And finally, Brahma comes and says, you have become a Brahmarshi. First Rajarshi, then Devarshi, then Brahmarshi. And Vishwamitra says to Brahma, I don't believe your words. Let Vasishtha come and give me certificate, then I will believe. So Vasishtha came and then he said, yes, truly You are exactly like me. There is no difference between. Then Vishwamitra was very happy. Both these again meet in Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana or even Valmiki Ramayana also. There is a different story. We are not going into it. So, who is this Veda Purusha? He is verily the Brahman inculcated in the Vedas. That is, the person knows the truth. What is the truth? Aham Brahmasmi. And further description of this Veda Purusha, he is called by Brahma Mahapurusha. Mahapurusha yat chittam tat sarvada mayi eva avatishtate tasmat aham cha tasmin eva avasayami. Very beautiful word. Who is a Mahapurusha? Yes, yat chittam means yasya chittam, whose mind. That means not for 1 minute, but unbroken, unceasing, until body falls, whose mind sarvada, unbroken, all the time, mayi eva avatishtate. So he knows his complete identity. Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. So here human language has to be used. So this particular Paramahamsa Upanishad must have been written or taught by one Rishi. That Rishi is telling, Mai eva avatishtate. That is to say, he abides continuously in Brahman. And here, if we say this person is thinking of a house continuously, this person is thinking of money continuously, but he will also think of his body, his hunger, his cold, his restlessness, his friends, his enemies. But the moment we exchange the word Brahman, and his mind is in Brahman means not that he is separate, not that he is thinking about Brahman, he had already become Brahman. This is called Avatishta. I am Brahman. That firm, unbroken knowledge is called to abide in Brahman. And then what happens? For our sake, Upanishad is telling, Tasmat, because he continuously dwells in me, aham cha tasmin eva avasayami. He is abiding in me, I am abiding in him. So sometimes I come to your house and stay with you, and sometimes you come to my house and stay with me. No, that is what is possible for us. But it means that there is no distinction between him and me. This is called Vishnu Padam, the highest state of Vishnu. So there is no difference. Aham is Brahman, he is also Brahman, there are no two Brahmans. He is the great one, he is called Mahapurusha. For he rests his whole mind always in me. And I too, for that reason, reside in him. This word Mahapurusha is a beautiful reminder for us. Once, Swami Vivekananda and Swami Brahmananda, Swami Shivananda, they were all sitting and talking. Then Swami Vivekananda said that Sri Ramakrishna was a complete conqueror of lust. Even the thought, Sri Ramakrishna himself said, I never dreamt of a woman, even in a dream. And he was the complete conqueror of lust. When this topic is going on, Mahapurush Maharaj quietly added, by the grace of Sri Ramakrishna, that I am also a conqueror of lust. And Swamiji perhaps did not know about this incident. He was surprised. He asked, how come? Swami Shivanandaji was elderly in age. So he used to be addressed by everybody, Dada, Tarak Dada, how come? Then he explained, I was married, I was worried, it might be my downfall. So I approached Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna had taught me a special prakriya. He said, you go and perform this. Thereafterwards, even if you are sleeping, both yourself and your wife are sleeping side by side, you will never again have any carnal relationship with your wife. And then Mahapurush Maharaj, later on, Tarak Babu, he went, he performed it, and then Sri Ramakrishna said, do not worry, that I will protect you. I will see that no such thought will ever arise in your mind. So that is what happens, that such a thought never arises in my mind. Swamiji was surprised. He was taken by surprise. He said, what do you say, Tarak Dada? Then you are a Mahapurusha. And from that day onwards, Mahapurusha, Swami Shivanandaji used to be addressed by everybody as Mahapurusha. So once Swamiji was addressing like that, and Baburam's mother, she heard about it and said, what type of Mahapurusha? Unfortunately, in Bengali language, Mahapurusha means a monkey. So then Swamiji explained, no, she is, by the grace of Sri Ramakrishna, he had overcome all lustful tendencies and he narrated. Then she said, oh, he is a real Mahapurusha. So, such a great Mahapurusha, what to speak of Swamiji, what to speak of direct disciples. And this is something even more surprising. The thought, such a thought never arose in the mind of Holy Mother. At least Sri Ramakrishna had to pray, but Holy Mother never prayed. It was so natural. Matrubhava, ya devi sarvabhuteshu matrurupena samsthita. So, because of that, I want to be called a mother. And of course, Sri Ramakrishna said, physically speaking, you will not have, but so many troublesome children will come later on, and their tribe will go on increasing, calling Ma and Ma, and there will come a time. This Sri Ramakrishna did not say, I am commenting of Bhashya. That why did I ever ask Sri Ramakrishna for children? Now I wish I never even broached that subject. So we are all that kind of troublesome children. So Mahapurusha is one, Yasya Chittam, whose mind, whose whole soul, Sarvada, unbrokenly, all the time, Mayeva Vatishtate. It abides only in Brahman. Therefore, there is no difference between him and me. I am he is me. And then further descriptions are coming. So, what is his natural tendency? Asau, Sache Mahapurusha, Swaputra, Mitra, Kalatra, Bandhvadi. So, 4 types of relationships are being mentioned here. Swaputra, suppose he was a householder, and before attaining to this state, so he might have some children, but he never thinks, these are my children. Mitra, these are my friends. Kalatra, this is my wife. Bandhvadin, so bandhu means relatives. So friends, children, wife, and all these people, friends, etc., having renounced his son's friends, wife, and relationships, etc. Before attaining to that state of Brahman, he has been saying, this is what Sri Ramakrishna so simply had put. Live in this world like a maid servant in a rich man's house. Very, very beautiful. Why did Sri Ramakrishna have to say that you have to reside in rich people's houses? If you go to foreign countries, Western countries, you will understand. Because you must be extremely rich to be able to employ a driver or a servant or a maid servant. Nowadays especially. But more important, that a maid servant, if she is working in a house which is a little better than her own class, middle class say, then she will naturally develop a detachment. Why? because there is nothing much. The persons whom she is serving also do not have much. And then in such a house, the food, etc., the salary, everything will be normal. But if she is living in a rich man's house, so they prepare the same food, and that rich food she will be able to see. So there may be attachment that I don't want to leave this house. I want to work here only. Why? Because my owner is a very good person. His wife and children are also very good people. They treat me with respect and honor, and they never extract like Americans used to kill literally millions of slaves. No, because good people are there in this world. They may be rich, but they are very good. Like Balaram Basu's family, they always treat, or like Ramchandra Datta's family. Why am I mentioning it? Remember Sri Ramakrishna's most favorite disciple, Swami Dayatmanandaji, he joined as a servant. And the Ramchandra Datta and his wife treated him as their own son. And very funny thing happened. This boy became so much attached to them. He really felt Ramchandra Datta's wife was his own mother, because Latu Maharaj had lost his parents. Only his uncle brought him up, and he was a drunkard. So he lost all his property, and he was an honest person. So he gave up all his, quite a good amount of property to people from whom he borrowed money, and he wanted his honor to be respected. So he came to Calcutta, and somehow he secured a job for Latu Maharaj in the house. And this is all Divine Mother's will, so that this boy can come into contact with Sri Ramakrishna, and he did come. And his mind was completely withdrawn. So one day he asked Ramchandra Datta, I don't want to serve here. I want to go and live and serve Sri Ramakrishna. Of course, Ramchandra Datta was delighted. But the point was, he said that where will you get clothes and other things? You need some clothes. If you are not working for me, then we cannot pay you. And the innocence of Swami Adbhutanji was such. He said, why? If I need money, you will give. And if I need clothes, Ramchandra Datta's mother, he used to call her mother will give me. Ramchandra Datta had become silent because he could not make Latu Maharaj understand. If you are no longer a servant in my house, we are not bound, we are not responsible for giving you money or anything else. But the boy never thought that way. He said, you are like my mother and father, and my needs are very few. Whenever, whatever I need, either you give or mother will give. And Ramchandra Datta had no retort for that. He had to accept it. Of course, he was more than happy because this boy was not living for somebody else's house. He wanted to serve Sri Ramakrishna, whom Ramchandra Datta and his wife, both of them, considered as their Ishtadevata. We have to understand that one. So, this person, a maid servant in a loving, rich family, she very naturally can get attached. Even the comfort she is getting, the salary she is getting, and all, even without affection or anything, will be incomparable if she had to work somewhere else. That is why Sri Ramakrishna had to add the word in a rich man's house. But how to live? Live like a maid servant. She knows that any time my job may be lost. I cannot, as Sri Ramakrishna says, even directly carry my own wooden box. I have to take the help of somebody, and secretly I have to get it, and it will be examined also whether I am carrying something belonging to the household, etc. So, in that way we have to live in this world. Whether you are a householder, What about sannyasins? Do they have these problems? Yes, they have also problems. I will put it in a slightly different manner. So there will be a comfortable room. Some monks get comfortable rooms. Some don't get comfortable rooms. And we get attached. If any, but he says, now you shift your room to that other room. I have seen so many people, so they almost wept because such a comfortable room. Even when it is causing discomfort also, they get so much attached, they don't want to change it. I see all these sceneries practically every day. Now, what about friends? Of course, we become friendly with some of our sannyasinis, become friendly with some sannyasis. Sannyasis become friendly with some sannyasis. Beggars become friendly with other beggars. Everywhere this Mahamaya, don't think that she will not bind sannyasins. Real sannyasin, no. But this kind of sannyasins, yes. Because we are all seeking comfort, what is called safety, security. I have somebody and I am valuable only because when there is somebody. All these things come into there. Then the people, the devotees. There are some devotees who admire me, so they become my closest relatives. And there are some devotees who do not like me. From a distance, they make salutation and run to other swamis. So I don't like them. I feel jealous also if they go. Not really. I feel so happy that one less burden. So this is in whatever life, it is the condition of the mind. We are not talking about external situation. So Kalatra, Mitra, Putra, maybe Kalatra is not there, Bandhvadin, but such a Paramahamsa, Mahapurusha, he completely renounced means what? If he had before, now after sannyasa he completely renounced, because every Paramahamsa need not be a sannyasi. Householder Paramahamsas are there, many like Nagamahashaya and even Srima. And when his son died in the beginning, Mahendranath Gupta, he suffered terribly. But after a few years of contact with Sri Ramakrishna, so there was the daughter of M had died, one of the daughters, so I believe, and one Swami on that very day went, and Sri Ramakrishna's instruction was, you entertain sadhus at least with one sweet and a glass of water. And he was urging, and the sadhu could hear weeping coming from a distance, from other rooms. So he inquired. M said, these are all very common things, unwanted things, undesirable things happen in householder's life. Please don't worry. Please bless me by accepting this small sweet and then the water. Later on, the sadhu came to know that one of the daughters of M had passed away. Even in that state, the sadhu could not find even a shadow of grief on the face of the M. That is Paramahamsa. He became later on. That is why Sri Ramakrishna refused sannyasa to him when he requested. But what Sri Ramakrishna meant was, you just keep coming to me, I will make you a Paramahamsa. And literally it became like that towards the end. So he renounces. Then Sikhadin, Ignopavite, Swadhyayancha, Sarva Karmani Sanyasya. What about other things? Normally, according to formality, some people have to keep a tuft of hair. But Paramahamsa will not keep. Ignopavite. Some people, some sannyasins, especially Vaishnava sannyasins, they keep this Yagnopavita. No, he will not do it. Then there are certain duties, like Swadhyaya, every day. Paramahamsa, you see, so he may not do any Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya means he had already reached the goal of all the Swadhyaya, etc. He is not saying, I don't like it, so I give it up. No. He had taken aid of them. He had reached the goal of life. Now it is not necessary. Like that Ramayat Sadhu, who had a big book, on every page only the name Rama is there, as we all understand. And then he explained, the God exists and I belong to God. Everything is God. Everything belongs to God. That is the essence of every scripture in the world. And then Sarva Karmani Sanyasya. What does it mean? If there is a body and mind, you cannot renounce. So I don't eat, I don't drink, I don't rest, I don't go for begging, I don't feel heat or cold. No. What it means is, even though body is there, let the body go through them. But it is not my body, it is God's body, Divine Mother's body. So if it has to go, but I will not react. If it is comfortable weather, I will be very excited. Uncomfortable weather, I go on cursing and murmuring, all those things, no. So he doesn't feel I am the doer. That is the final meaning. Sarva karmani sanyasya. Having done away with the Shikha, holy thread, similarly, the study of the Vedas and everything that is prescribed in the Vedas, even those things prescribed for the sannyasins. They have their duties. They have to do Swadhyaya and they have to do what is called Paramahamsa Gayatri and Hamsa Gayatri and this Shravana, Manana, Nididhyas. Everything has gone because he reached the goal. Having done away, I am Brahmanam Chahitva. There is no Brahmanda. There is no world. There is only Brahman. Nothing but. And then Kaupinam. You had Kaupinam. Kaupinam is the loincloth that protects what we call shame. What is the shame for a Paramahamsa? Do you think a small baby, he feels that I am naked and what do people think about me? He is happily running into his father's lap, mother's lap. Anybody who has a lap, he had turned himself into a laptop and then he jumps actually from the sky itself, a baby, So from one hand to the other hand, he will be transferred. Aerial transformation takes place. So, ayancha brahmanam hitva, then kaupinam, because he has no body consciousness. When a person is not body consciousness, and every child doesn't have a body consciousness, then he will not feel, I am a man, I am a woman, I have to protect my shame, etc. No. Dandancha. So some Paramahamsas, sannyasins, they take the help of a staff, and it can be of 3 strands or 1 strand. Then achadanam, that means some type of covering. No, he can become Digambara. If somebody puts on him some cloth, he doesn't say, oh, thank you very much, you are covering me up. Me, I am Digambara. Only I am infinite. Only the space can cover me. Shiva is called Digambara. Dik, that is the infinite space alone can cover, so-called cover infinity. And then, why do people take all these things? Swa-sarira upabhogarthaya, for the protection of one's own body and also for enjoying nice food, nice clothes, nice etc. Or, if a person is advanced, lokasya upakararthaya cha, so for the welfare of the world. So he can take kaupinam and he can take a danda and he can cover himself. Swasarira upagardhaya. I remember there was a great soul in Varanasi. His name was Swami Bhaskarananda, and he used to be naked. He used to live in a boat on the Ganges. Years together he lived, whether it is raining, whether it is shining, whether it is cold, he will be like that only. A tremendous austerity. He was naked. So once some woman devotee had come. She was feeling a bit shy because she was able to see his private parts, etc. Then he said, oh, why are you feeling shy. When you see my hand or my part of my leg, are you feeling ashamed? Are you feeling shame? No. Only private part brings shame. That is also a part of the body, no different from the. But in that context also there is something. Once Swamiji had met him and said that I have seen a person who had complete conquerance of lust. And Swami Bhaskarananda did not believe. He said it is impossible. So some amount of small bit should be there. Swamiji said, I have seen with my own eyes. But Swami Bhaskarananda refused to believe it. Swamiji got so annoyed and said, I will not visit Varanasi until I fall upon the society like a bombshell. Later on, of course, he came. We don't know what had happened. But some people believe that it is impossible to get rid of even a little bit of the remnants of the lust. So who can sell that? Only a person who still is feeling that one, he can tell that. So this is impossible, but Sri Ramakrishna became a Paramahamsa, so there is no shame because he doesn't say, he doesn't feel 24 hours a day that I am the body. So for the sake of one's own body or for the good of the world, welfare of the world, he doesn't take kopinam, dandam, etc. So dandam means a staff. So in the olden days when people used to, what is it called, parivarajakas, wandering monks, sometimes they have to encounter some wild animals. It could be dogs, it could be wild dogs, it could be leopards, etc. So this danda will help such people to protect themselves. Sometimes some bale fruit is high above. This danda also can help to bring it down. So, and then they also light up a fire called dhuni. But this Paramahamsa totally depends on the Divine Mother, not thinking that I am depending. It comes so naturally. When you look at a baby, no baby ever thinks, oh, have I anything to worry? My mother is there, so I think she will look after me. I have complete faith in her. No baby will ever. The thought itself doesn't arise. Simply, the baby surrenders completely to the mother, wherever the mother keeps. That is called Sharanagati, and that is what Sri Ramakrishna especially used to say, the Sharanagati of a kitten, not of a Marjara Kishora Nyaya. So, having described the characteristics of a Paramahamsa, Brahma concludes here, Tat cha na mukhya asti. All these things are not important at all. They are not important characteristics. Koyam mukhya iti chet. Then naturally the question that comes then, what is important? Chet, ayam mukhya. This is most important. What is that most important? That is going to be described in the next mantra. We will talk about it. Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. May Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother and Swami Vivekananda bless us all with bhakti. Jai Ramakrishna.